Okay, so I did a video the other day about spiritual bypassing. I want to talk about therapy bypassing because this is, or even coaching bypassing. It really depends on the level of consciousness of the facilitator that you're working with. Greetings from Bali. I'm just going to take a moment out of my workout to do a little back run to bring this message to you. So, I've seen this a lot. I've seen it in my own journey, so no judgment about it. And I also, as a trained clinician and a trained psychotherapist and coach, I really I think it's so important because where we're stepping into in terms of transformative alchemical relationships in the fifth dimension and beyond, it's so important. Like intimacy is queen and king, right? Authenticity. And you can't have that if you don't know yourself. Right? If you do not have a safe relationship with yourself, it's going to be very hard for you to have those safe relationships, safe, intimate relationships with others, right? So I just got this download and it was about how therapy can also be a bypass. I've seen this, I've been in intense, beautiful, safe co-creative alchemical containers online with clients, and they've been like, I really you're so far away, or I really just need the in-person contact and which I totally get. As someone that has had a live studio and does retreats, I understand the magic of being in person, and I cannot wait to be in person with you all, and I can't wait for you to come to Bali. And in fact, I'm going to be doing a retreat this March here, so if you're interested and you feel called, private message me. But listen to this. I have done such powerful, potent, deep work, trained facilitators, and I've never ever met them in person, all online. You can deep, intimate, like some of the deepest work I've ever done. So there are benefits, pros and, obviously there's a cost benefit with every experience and format and structure, but there are tremendous benefits of working online when you're unable to, right? And it can be a cop-out sometimes, I find, when you're using that as, it's a shadow play. It can be a cop-out when you're using that as an excuse to not move forward in your life and in your transformation and really integrate the work that you're doing to go back into therapy. I've seen this happen with people that I've trained. I've seen it, and here's the other reason why. It's not even about the modality. It's truly about the consciousness of the facilitator, right? And their willingness to hold a very high vibration and authentic space, a compassionate, loving, clear, safe can be relative to the ego, right? So into the shadow aspects. So it really depends on, that can be a little bit tricky, right? Because the mind loves to attach to, oh, what's safe, this is it. Your ego's not going to, one of my things is sacred space. I hold a tight space. Like, ask people that have worked with me for years. I really hold a tight ship. And I've had people who have had a lot of childhood trauma or a lot of stuff in my, even in just like a painting workshop, come up to me and be like, I don't feel safe in this space. And it's because your subconscious, right? You're being flooded with stuff that wants to be loved and reintegrated and faced, really, and addressed, right? So there's nothing to fear with that. But with the right facilitator, they're going to lead you through that with love, with compassion, and also with really good boundaries and truth telling and structure and supporting your own soul's accountability, right? That's what I love about coaching. But going back to the therapy bypass can actually be like going back into an earlier version of you, or earlier, because most therapists, right, are still working out of a patriarchal consciousness and a pathology-based consciousness. And that's why people don't heal with therapy. I mean, I'm a trained therapist, I know. I invested $150,000 in a master's degree, in California to, all the clinical hours, everything, and then I walked away from that licensing and that whole model because I was guided to birth something new, but I also knew it was not in integrity with my soul, right? I saw the gaps and I saw the limitations, and then I had my own awakening, and, here we are, right? 20 years later. So it's not to say that there aren't some really powerful therapists out there who are able to work within that framework and still hold, a more expansive consciousness. But it's very rare, right? So a good facilitator is going to invite you to stay within the relationship, the alchemical relationship in the container, right, that you are embarking on. If not, it's just going to bleed out your energy, and it's just going to, it's going to undermine your intentions, your investment, all the work that you've done, right? I hope that makes sense. It makes me think of and I don't want to get any emails about this because, it's just my personal opinion, but it's kind of like polyamory, I have a lot of friends that have played in polyamory and married friends that are no longer married anymore. And my belief, which I hold loosely, is that if you truly want a deep, intimate relationship, you have to have a tight container. That's how trust gets built, right? And that energy is an alchemical, right? We're moving into the era of alchemical relationships where they are transformative. My truth, my love elevates, activates, transforms you, and vice versa. It doesn't matter what type of relationship it is, whether it's therapeutic or transformative or professional or co-creative, business partnership, a romantic relationship, a relationship with a child and a parent, right? Friendship. It's about an equitable energetic exchange. And so just be mindful, because I've seen this a lot lately, and it's such a shadow play from my perspective of your own unwillingness, right, to do the work. And the work is where we integrate, right? When we take steps, when we get really present with what comes up in that energetic exchange. And a good facilitator is going to invite you, not hold you, because that's not their responsibility. They're going to invite you to stay in the fire with them, right? And really allow the fire of that alchemical exchange to support you rising in the phoenix. But if you decide, it's a little hot in here, this sucks, this doesn't work, I'm gonna go to therapy because it's safe and it's what everybody does and it's what, it's here, I can touch it, it's in the physical or whatever it is, then okay, but just be mindful. Don't lie to yourself about what's happening there. And I've done it. I mean, I've seen it. I wish in some instances that somebody had held my feet to the fire and called me out on it in a loving way, right? And loved me enough to hold my feet to the fire, right? To hold my feet to the fire and say, I'm gonna take a stand for you. You're kidding yourself, right? That's a true alchemical relationship, right? That is it's not about being perfect at all. It's so important. It's not about perfection. It's about being honest. It's about authenticity. It's about intimacy, and intimacy is really, really scary. When you shine the light into me, see, and all those shadow fragments and unhealed traumas and core beliefs, all the shame cannot live in the light of love. It just can't. So when somebody sees and brings their sight and their vision and their love, right? And holds that sacred space and witnesses you. That's where the true magic is. That's the true transformation. And then when you can do that for yourself, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Sending you so much love. Bye for now.